Well, that was a bum note. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 actors who destroyed their careers with one movie. For this list, we're looking at roles that had a significant effect on actors' careers. In other words, after these roles, the calls for work stopped coming in, or at least any good calls. We're not saying that these actors never managed to bounce back, but that these duds definitely didn't help. Number 10, John Travolta, Battlefield Earth. So much goodwill after Pulp Fiction, so much potential. So what the hell is this?
Obviously, this is going to take a while.
Based on the L. Ron Hubbard novel of the same name, Battlefield Earth follows a human rebellion against a race of alien overlords. John Travolta, whose career up to this point boasted movies like Grease, the aforementioned Pulp Fiction, Saturday Night Fever, and Face Off, played a lead role in the movie mainly because it was linked into his Scientology beliefs.
I just want to do whatever serves the corporation best.
Criticized for its acting, script, special effects, and, well, pretty much everything, it's a sci-fi feast of cheese. For a certain generation, Travolta will forever be known as the Battlefield Earth guy.
There must be some mistake.
Number 9, Taylor Kitsch, John Carter.
Okay. See, my name is John Carter. Virginia is where I'm from.
This is a strange one. It's a sci-fi Disney movie with tons of action, great special effects, and a large number of admiring fans. So why is it on this list? Well, due to some questionable marketing and the fact that the title John Carter hardly inspires excitement, the movie did kinda poorly at the box office. Like, failed to recoup its budget poorly.
I take you for a man who's lost.
I won't be lost if you just tell me how to work this thing.
The only entry in a proposed trilogy, John Carter saw its lead and titular actor just fade away. Sure, Kitsch has had some decent supporting roles since, but it's a long way from starring as the lead in a Disney blockbuster.
Well, maybe I ought to get behind you.
Number 8, Meg Ryan, Proof of Life. Like Demi Moore and Julia Roberts, Meg Ryan was 90s movie royalty, with starring roles in You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle. When she lined up alongside Russell Crowe for the movie Proof of Life, a story about hostage negotiations, it seemed like a guaranteed thrill ride.
I have some really bad news. You want to go inside and sit down?
Well, it turns out it was not. The movie had a few good twists and turns, and Ryan's performance was commendable, but overall it was flat and predictable, and since then, Ryan's big roles have been few and far between.
You can't possibly make any sense out of it. You can't push it away.
Here's to hoping that she'll pop up in another legendary diner scene someday soon. Number 7, Taylor Lautner, Abduction.
I don't even know these people. I need answers.
You've been looking for answers your whole life. You just didn't know what questions to ask.
As the Twilight saga inched towards its conclusion, its young stars were some of the most promising in cinema, Taylor Lautner included. And after starring in a huge franchise like that, your next steps are crucial. But unfortunately for Lautner, his big action blockbuster Abduction didn't earn him the title of action hero like he'd hoped.
Suddenly everyone around me is dying, Karen. And I don't want anything to happen to you.
Criticized for its awful writing and the fact that it was basically a lame ripoff of the Jason Bourne movies, Abduction was universally panned, and Lautner has struggled to regain his A-list status since. The Golden Raspberry Award nomination he earned for the movie is still hanging around his neck like an albatross. Number 6, Cuba Gooding Jr., Boat Trip. Since earning himself a well-deserved Best Supporting Actor Oscar for Jerry Maguire, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career has been a bit of a roller coaster.
Jerry! Don't worry, buddy. I'm bringing you back home. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Although starring in several great films since then, his filmography has also been filled with lower-budget direct-to-DVD movies and a few really, really bad movies, of which have hampered his rise back to Oscar form.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
One of the main offenders was undoubtedly Boat Trip. Lewd, awkward to watch, and boasting a 7% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, it's about two straight guys who end up on a gay cruise, and the fun just never starts. We mean, this is the guy that gave us Show Me the Money. Come on, man.
Show me the money.
Number 5, Topher Grace, Spider-Man 3.
Do you remember what you did to me?
We all know him from the huge That 70s Show, but his big movie appearances have been somewhat of a rarity. Being cast as Venom in Spider-Man 3 should have been a massive career booster for Grace, but unfortunately, it sucked.
You're so right. I'm thinking humiliation.
True, Spider-Man 3 is admired by many, but the movie did receive heavy criticism for trying to shoehorn in too many villains, Grace's Venom being the straw that broke the camel's back. His portrayal of the disgraced journalist and anti-Spidey wasn't bad, it's just unfortunate that a lot of the animosity towards the movie's villain problem ended up on his shoulders. And he's yet to have an acting gig of the same status since.
Ooh, my spider sense is tingling. If you know what I'm talking about.
Number 4, Jake Lloyd, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
I'm a person and my name is Anakin.
Lloyd is a classic example of the destructive nature of being a child star. Winning the hearts of moviegoers in Jingle All the Way, he went on to portray young Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace. It's no secret that the Star Wars prequels have had their fair share of haters, and sadly for Lloyd, he was on the receiving end of a lot of that hate.
It wasn't my fault, really.
Not only did this hamper his chance of getting future acting work, but it took a toll on his personal life, leading him to be bullied in school and ultimately to retire from acting in 2001. Lloyd has established a career behind the camera, however, directing documentaries and music videos.
What does that got to do with anything?
Number 3, Brandon Routh, Superman Returns.
I know some people are asking a lot of questions now that I'm back. I think it's only fair that I answer those people.
Once you put on the blue tights and red cape, it can be tough for anyone to see you without them. Cast as the Man of Steel in Superman Returns, Brandon Routh fit the bill perfectly. Chiseled jaw, charming grin, and dark hair. The problem is, even without the costume, people still see him with a red S on his chest. Routh has appeared in plenty of movies and TV shows since, but to most people, he's still Clark Kent, making it tough for movie makers to cast him in big leading roles.
Will we see you? Around?
I'm always around.
But not TV show makers, evidently, as he reprised the role of Superman in a Batwoman crossover episode, which probably didn't help his typecasting.
I appreciate your concern, but this isn't my first go-around with Luther.
Number 2, Mike Myers, The Love Guru. Times change rapidly in the movie business. What worked in the 90s or the 2000s may not work today. Case in point, Mike Myers, The Love Guru. Known for his irreverent 90s comedies, especially the Austin Powers movies, Myers' style of comedy has been pretty consistently silly over the years. But when he tried to sell the ridiculous love guru to audiences in 2008, it did not land well at all.
It's the beard. It makes me look like Santa.
With inappropriate, cringeworthy, gross-out gags coming out of its ears, the movie left Myers with more Razzies than a trifle.
Boyfriend?
No.
Girlfriend?
Well, I mean, there was one time in college.
Really?
What was that?
I didn't hear anything.
And since then, he's not done any movies flaunting his old brand of humor, which is probably for the best.
Fine. I don't need material things. I was put on this earth to spread a message of peace and love.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
This is my friend Auburn. Hi. This is Holly, and this is Tom. And my son, Tom.
Oh!
Tom.
Well, let's go.
Tommy. Tom.
Now, what's your plan?
Maybe gonna do some traveling. Was thinking of maybe checking out Rome, actually.
That won't work. See, I took your balls.
Alfred has supported me my whole life, and I'm gonna pay him back. I'm gonna take him away from this dismal life of servitude.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Elizabeth Berkley, Showgirls. We've tried to give the benefit of the doubt where possible, but when it comes to Showgirls, we got nothing.
I used to love Doggy Chow. I used to love Doggy Chow too.
This movie is so bad that it earned a record number of Razzie Award nominations, and a cult status for its sheer awfulness. Unfortunately for former teen actress Elizabeth Berkley, she played the lead role. The film as a whole is bad and weird in its own right, but Berkley's acting is dire throughout, as she famously overacts in many of the scenes.
Where are you from? Back east. From where back east? Different places.
The fallout from the movie was so bad, she was dropped by her agent as a result. And although she's been in tons of movies since, Showgirls will forever be a defining black mark on her career.
Bye, darling.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.